Hey there, hey there, hey there. Hey, how we doing out there? Welcome to Wake Up CEO. I am your host, Rachel L. Gary, and today, guys, we're gonna have to put on the glasses because it is about to be a day. We got the CEO Takeover that's gonna be joining us on Wake Up CEO today. And you know who we also have as our guest co-host. Reverend Erica Turner is going to be coming in here because this is Wednesday, Enlightened Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesdays. Y'all got to get locked into all of that is taking place. But first, we're going to just talk a little bit about what we're talking about today. Stop posting for likes. How to stop doing that, and how to understand that when you're posting as a business owner, you are posting for purpose and posting on purpose. So we got to get locked into who we are and what we're doing. So I want you guys to stay locked in with me for a couple of moments. We're about to play some video. You know, we got to get everybody in the room, get everybody set. So this is from my soundtrack, which is called The Movement. And this is the featured video, if we want to say. So it's the video that we created for the actual song itself, for the actual Movement album. And we're going to get into it. Y'all don't have to give me a hard time, but here we go. Freedom has GPS. And why can't I hear that?
Yeah.
Say impossible. Impossible.
Freedom has GPS.
Freedom has GPS.
Rachel L. Gary. Rachel L. Gary.
Yeah. We've been riding in circles, same stress, same scene, trying to find peace while we're chasing a dream. Then Rachel L. Gary put the map in our hands. Now it's clarity on the dash. We got plans on plans. Boundaries on lock, no details for the doubt. If it don't match the mission, we routing it out. Purpose in the pedal, we don't wait on the sign. CEO of our life, watch the whole thing align. We set the destination. We move with intention. No more drifting. We chose the vision.
We chose the vision. We made rapper ad-lib. Freedom has GPS, so we set it and we go. Yeah, Rachel L. Gary in the map. Yeah, she marking her road. Let's go. Love, time, peace, and family. Yeah, that's the code. CEO of our life, now we taking control. No more stuck, no more someday. We got something to prove. Freedom has GPS, now watch the whole movement move. We be up, out and moving. Yes, but out and moving to the greatness that lies in. Woo!
And that is the track for the movement, guys. I want you guys to get so locked into the track because at the end of the day, this is how we move forward. We have the road to freedom lies within us. And how do we get to the road of freedom if we are not even thinking about the path? And I want to make sure that we really understand that freedom isn't about being free of everything. It's about whatever you believe freedom is to you. And that's what my mission is for Pop the Trunk that has been going on over the last couple of days. And definitely will be coming up at the end of the week on Saturday. I have 3 awesome locations that I will be coming to, having the opportunity to see some great individuals, guys. Let's just say this: take a look at Pop the Trunk Facebook page. If you guys are looking at this on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, go to Rachel L. Gary on Facebook and get locked in those groups. I will be dropping the information, not only dropping the information, dropping how to win a prize worth $500. One more time, a prize worth $500. We'll clap it up for that prize. And the prize is all centered around growth and development, because you know that's all that Rachel L. Gary is about: growth, development, being the best version of ourselves, and showing up in our lives to be the CEO of our lives. So we got to still pay some bills for a couple of minutes while we let the CEOs get into the room. We got to let them get all locked in and get with us. So we're going to play a couple of more commercials, and then we're going to go ahead and y'all stay locked in right here on Wake Up CEO on My Radio Chicago. Support District Radio by going to www.sportdistrictradio.com/stations/Chicago and take us on the go. Because even though my show is awesome, there are also a lot of other awesome shows day in and day out. 24/7. You know where to find us right here on My Radio Chicago. So stay locked in. What chapter helps you feel more committed to being a CEO of your life?
It was chapter 8, breaking the chains, breaking the cycles of the things that are not benefiting my business.
Chapter 7, coming full circle to my why, because I need a focal point, no pun intended, as a designer.
Chapter 4, but package the offer, that was my struggle, putting that price together and believing in that price.
Managing the machine, really just thinking about managing what we're doing, standing what we're doing, and really fine-tuning how this thing is going to run.
Chapter about the self-belief. In everything that I do, I always get caught up in whatever is going on around. Throughout this process, I have made myself the focal point.
All right. So we are now about to get locked in with the CEO. Guys, hold on. Let me talk a little bit about this business before I bring this CEO on. So the business is called Prized Possession. Now, hold on. I know that we have heard about that we should be prized, that we should be holding ourselves to a standard. But the CEO I'm about to bring on, not only does she hold you to a standard, she elevates you to the standard and has you set your graphics up, your brand up. The PR genius herself, I'm about to bring to, guys, just get locked in, to Lakita Monet. Come on, Kita. Hey there.
How are you?
Wake Up CEO. Can you hear
for
me?
having me. Yes.
All right. I want to make sure. Tell us a little bit about your business, what it is you do, because I know I gave a brief interlude. So give us the full gambit of Prized Possession.
Yes, awesome. So I am Lakita Moye, founder and CEO of Possession. It is a branding and marketing firm that helps people discover their prized possession by way of promotion, presence, and publicity. My goal is to make sure that we're increasing visibility by way of creative design, marketing, and branding.
Okay. So marketing and branding, and so we're gonna dive into that a little bit about marketing and branding. And now I'm gonna tell you why I'm extremely excited because Kita's on here right now. Not only because I worked with Kita for 10 weeks. I also had the pleasure of having Kita on my team for the Freedom Has GPS campaign that we're running. So, guys, she could tell you how I give them a hard time. They went all off on me last week. I want y'all to hear that ahead of time. Last week, they all jumped on me. But it was warranted, and I'm okay with them when you're calling out, so you can be treated the way you feel like is necessary for your growth. I'm all aboard someone showing up for themselves. So, Kita, let's talk about some of these designs. Guys, I don't mean designs where you get on Canva, you play with the buttons, and you do a little something, and no. I want to dive a little bit into what Kita does other than just designing and how she coaches other people to design as well. If you're on your computer, show us a little bit of a design that you've done so they can see what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a design, guys. I want y'all to see some creativity and some of her clientele. Not only
Showing up for themselves. So
I'm hood famous, but we're gonna talk about
some creativity and some of her clientele. Not only
all right, Keita. So wait, do you got something for us?
No, I am not on my computer. However,
that is shocking. I want y'all to know that for the record.
I am on my phone. However, if you go to my page, you'll be able to see some of my designs I post all the time. However, design was my first love. They refer to me, my students, my mentees, they always say like Canva queen. People always say like, it doesn't look like we did it in Canva. I am a firm believer in not using templates and designing from scratch. And so that's what I teach all of my mentees, my students, and my visionaries. I think it's so important to make sure that you have a level of creativity that puts through your design. And so what's amazing to me in this season that everyone is in is that everybody refers to ChatGPT. And if I'm being completely honest, it's so easy to scout who's using ChatGPT. So what ends up happening is people end up scrolling right past it as opposed to that look. So I have had the pleasure of working with quite a few people. My work has been featured on Feature One. It has been featured on Bravo recently, as I did an event flyer for Portia Williams of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I've also had the pleasure of working with my favorite celebrities, Toya Wright, who some of you know as Sloan ex-wife. I was able to do some stuff for the regular Jesse Jackson, Chrisette Michelle and Wiley College. The list just goes on. But I'm just so grateful for connections that I've had my 15-year journey. But design for me allows me to set the pathway for everything else to come. Campaigns, branding assets, marketing, and everything starts with that design. Once people can get locked into what they see, then they'll be able to.
Okay, so what I loved about working, or even when I first met Kita, it was a chance meeting. So you guys already know that I drive Lyft part-time. So it just happens to be we had a chance meeting where Kita and I and let's also remember I'm an introvert. Let's keep that part in mind. But so is she on a small scale, or on a larger scale when we're in a bunch of people in the room. But so we were having a conversation about what we do. And it happened to be at the time I was just getting ready for my campaign and was looking for someone to assist. And Kita was talking and I was talking and we were like, okay, I love what you do. I love what you do. Boom. And here we are, 6 months later, having a great conversation about the growth, about her business, the things she does in her business, and her being together. So Keita was so well put together. I was like, how am I? What is it I'm going to be able to do to help her? So Keita, do me a favor. Let us know, what was it that intrigued you about the CEO Mastermind?
I think for me, because I've been in this for quite some time, I've seen people who have ideas, concepts, but no follow through. So when I met you in the lift and we're able to talk through the CEO Mastermind, it was no questions left unanswered. Being in this space, I've been in so many rooms and conversations where people can't properly articulate what it is that they do. Because if we're being honest, the pandemic made everybody feel like they're entrepreneurs. Everybody got the quick hit. Everybody started doing t-shirts. Everybody self-proclaimed themselves as a coach. And so in talking to you, I said, oh, this is interesting. This is different. And just like myself, your heart was in helping other people. And so with that, it quite naturally gravitated me to CEO Mastermind. And then it was the part of going in and making sure everyone had a tailored brand, tailored to their specific brand. I think that's very important because sometimes people will try to do everything for the general and everything isn't for the general. Some people want to hone in and be specific to what they do. And so the CEO Mastermind for me was about tailoring it specifically to my area of expertise.
So I appreciate that. So you have now been in the CEO Mastermind. So from our conversation to you actually going through the 10 weeks, did it live up to the hype conversation we had? And guys, I want y'all to know I've never asked this question before. I'm one of these people who I want to know the truth. Now, one thing she gonna tell you, I'm gonna want to know the truth every single time. I don't want you to sugarcoat nothing for Rachel. So what did you think about the CEO Mastermind?
I think that the CEO Mastermind was great. One thing that we did speak about that I would never leave out of conversation is that I would be interested in doing the CEO Mastermind again with people that I don't already know. However, I think the way the structure was set up, it was absolutely amazing. And Rachel, you can attest to this because I'm telling the truth. Every week, it seemed to align with what I was going through. It was like, God, are you talking to me right now through Coach Rachel, through this book, through this plan? Like, how is this aligning week after week, the whole 10 weeks? What I was
It was
able
ironic
to
that was so true. Every week there happened to be a situation that came up that week was addressing every week for you.
every week.
Even when you was on a cruise, she went on a cruise on us in the middle of our mastermind. We won't talk about that.
And so, one thing that the CEO Mastermind gave me that $1 million couldn't even give me tangibly was a sense of peace and clarity in this season of my life. I didn't know that through this I would gain a different forward momentum, that I will be able to look at my business with a different lens and position myself to come back to a space where I wholeheartedly love everything I do, but making sure that self-care was priority. I was not good in self-care. So for me, when we talk about the pillars that we've learned in CEO Mastermind, I walked away with a level of self-care that I probably would have never unlocked or touched without the CEO Mastermind.
I can appreciate that. And I'm going to tell you, now I tell everyone, and I say this in the mastermind, that every season I learn something new. And I, because I'm one of these people who's always open. I have this childlike curiosity, and I've always had it. And to me, I think that that's probably one of my best qualities because I don't feel that I know it all. And I don't think anybody ever can say that Coach Rachel was like, she knows it all. I've never ever said that. and I'm always open to learning more and learning different techniques and different things. And that's, to me, is the key of it being a mastermind. And I definitely understood where Keita was coming from, of working and being in a mastermind with people she didn't know, because it gives you a sense of learning something new. And like this season, we had one individual that was on the season, Deidre Dixon. She didn't know Deidre. And Deidre had a lot of, she had a lot of, in the very beginning of, hey guys, I would say go back and watch the very first 2 episodes, and then watch the last 2 episodes. Even if you don't want to watch all of them, but I would say watch them all. But if you watch the first 2 and the last 2, you'll see the transformation from each individual and what they said they were doing and what they actually decided to do at the end, and where they actually started moving. Because that's, to me, what a mastermind really is. Having conversations and things that open you up and open up your mind. Because we only know what we don't know what we don't know, and we only know the things we do. So take that into perspective. If you only know the things you do know, the things you don't know are the things that are stopping you. So to me, that's always the key of why I love the mastermind. I just love having the energy and the conversations with great individuals. I impart the information that I've learned over time, and I listen to the information that they've learned over time. So let's talk a little bit more about these designs and all of the things that are going on. So when you very first started the mastermind, what was your business like? Tell us a little bit about that.
Business is crazy. I don't think I had it all together, because as a creator, when you have ideas, it's easy to be like, I'm doing X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, and it wasn't until I got into the mastermind that I was like, look, you got to structure this thing. Just because you think it doesn't mean it has to happen tomorrow. Had a team that I knew was solid. It was a large team. And I'm like, oh God, I got this all figured out. I got a sense of freedom. So I thought, but through the weeks, this word came up again. Here we were. October was in the space of pivot. And we started talking about pivoting. And when I came to that pivot, that's when I said, these 5 weeks that are behind me is not going with the 5 weeks that's ahead of me. And so now I scale. I have started to implement systems, and I've trained my business for me to work at a pace that works for me, and not necessarily move at the pace that the world wants me to, and do the things that I love while still helping people without it being the other way around.
I'm gonna tell you, I love that, because I remember when we first had our first one-on-one, and we were going through all of the clients, and we were having a conversation. And I'm a person, and I want everyone not to get upset with what I'm gonna say. All money ain't good money. I want to say it one more time. All money isn't good money. And sometimes you're saying, okay, if I have 10 clients that I'm making $400, $500 a piece, that's $5,000. But then I have 4 clients that I'm making $1,000 from. The 10 clients give me the biggest headache. And that's what she was going through. And we had the conversation that the price point must meet the demand of the work that they require. And the people that were paying the least amount wanted the most from her. I want y'all to take that into a moment of thought. Have you noticed that when you pay premium for something, you're not giving a person? Well, let's use a restaurant. This is one of her favorite things. Canva cuisines. We're gonna dive into that in a couple of minutes. Let's say you go to a restaurant. You go downtown to the restaurant and you order a $55 meal. That meal comes out, it is prepared to perfection, and your service is top notch. You have nothing to complain about. You go to a restaurant that you pay $15 a meal, $20, $25 a meal. Something's missing. Because the meals are so, I want y'all to hear this, the meals are so reasonably priced that everybody can come there. Now, when everybody comes there, the wait staff, there's not enough wait staff for the establishment, which means that the wait staff doesn't have the ability to be specialized. They don't have the opportunity to tender to your needs. Now, I go to a restaurant downtown. They're at my table. They done brought me all kinds of stuff. They've even asked me. They brought samples of drinks out, samples of some food out. All this kind of things is what you get from those type of restaurants, because they're in the business to serve. But when you're maxed out, it's hard to serve. And then when you're paying the smallest amount and you want the maximum amount of service, those things don't balance out. And that is, as the business owner, you have to make sure that you price your service, your product, in a way that you get the high-end clients. And if you're not tailoring to the high-end clients, be prepared for everything that comes along with tailoring to a lower-end price point. I don't say that to say that it's okay for people to treat people badly. I want to say that again. It's not. And yes, sometimes a lower discounted price might be necessary, but that's an internal thing, not an external thing. But jump into the course, y'all will learn more about that. Or just check out, I think it was episode 3 or 4, where we discussed a lot about internal, external pricing. Y'all just get locked in. But, so Keita, now, right now, so how many clients did you have in the beginning? Well, let's start there. How many clients did we have in the beginning?
Oh my God. I think at the time I had 15.
That's a shame she don't even remember, guys. She didn't get rid. It was 21 clients. Look at your original spreadsheet. She had 21 clients. And of those 21 clients right now, how many of those clients do you still have?
7.
And are they the 7 high-end clients, or are they part? Are they still a mix?
Majority is high-end, and the rest is
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you taking on new clients?
No, ma'am.
Why are we taking on new clients, Keita?
Not in this season. I think for me, my goal is to build a community-based membership by way of campus cuisine in school, and work with the clients that I have. Allow that social proof will result, work them, and then when I'm ready to get to a stage of working with retaining clients full time, I'll put that out. I think what I've learned, like I said, means more to me in the season. I think I've experienced a level of burnout that I don't want to even touch the surface of right now. So right now I'm not stopping. In my mind, I'm telling me the level of fatigue. But I know soon to come, I will open my roster up, maybe in September. But right now, my goal is to do what I love. And right now, that is doing everything through Canva Cuisine.
Okay, so I can appreciate that you took an opportunity to search and look for your peace. So we talk about a lot of that in CEO Mastermind, because it has to be your number one goal. Because when you search and gather your peace, everything else gets better. Because you determine everything against your peace. Is this situation going to disrupt my peace or keep me at peace? Is this client good for my peace or they're not? Is my business structured for my peace or not? And a lot of times when we don't think about that, we're thinking about we need to get to the money, but sometimes getting to the money can make you afraid, which we talked about in one of our sessions as well, about make it where you're afraid of success because you haven't structured your business in a way that it still protects your peace. So I am so proud to hear that you protected your peace. Guys, man, I want you guys, if you want to know more about the Canva cuisine, I'm going to drop that link for you guys in the chat now. It's by invitation only. So I will say this, we're going to drop that information out there for you, but you got to be ready.
You gotta be ready.
You got to be. So look, if you could just share a little about what is Canva cuisine.
Canva cuisine was me merging my love for Canva with something that people love to do all the time, is eat. And so
All right, we have a little technical difficulty. We are at a storm here in the Chicagoland area. So, but we're gonna come back and hear more about Eden. But I do have another one. All right, hold on. She's back. She
I'm
started
so
talking about
sorry. I don't
Eden
know what
again.
happened. That was the trick of the enemy. But no, it was my joy of designing, merging with what people love to do was eat. So it was merging culinary and Canva together, but also using eat as an analogy for getting to the bag, eating, hungry, wanting to secure your funds, right? And so we do a live cooking demonstration while also learning marketing tips and tricks. Y'all, we have so much fun. So most recently we had reserved seating and we had someone come on in and teach us steak and lobster, how to cook steak to perfection, how to make a lobster. And we learned so many different content tricks, curation tricks and things like that. So it's just my way of being an innovative teacher and teaching by way of culinary and Canva while always making sure that everyone that I come encounter that we eat, meaning we're getting to a bag, but we're also evolving, affirming, and thriving. I can't hear you anymore, Coach Rachel.
I muted myself because I didn't want to echo. I didn't want to interrupt her flow. So we were, what's that EAT again? Because I heard that. Drop that down one more time for us.
Evolving, affirming, and thriving.
And that's what it's about at the end of the day. Keita, I want to say thank you very much for joining the CEO Mastermind. But you stay tight because we got another person that's ready to come in. Guys, if you guys are not aware of Katrina Carter and her mission, Thrive. I want to tell you guys, I was so elated when I first had my one-on-one with Katrina because I loved when people have a purpose and they're helping people on purpose. So I'm going to bring her to the stage without further ado. Katrina Carter. Come on in. All right, Katrina. Let us know a little bit about your business, what it is you do, and we're gonna get to it.
Okay. I am Katrina Carter. I am the founder of Incapable Abundance Thrive. What my organization does is we help to spread awareness to domestic violence, mental health, and trauma. And we do that by hosting events. We do that by having event sessions. We have coloring books, we have journals, we have all those things to help you with your mental health and to get through the journey that you need to get through. And our motto is healing is a process that takes reliving what has hurt you in order to walk in your purpose. And if you ever need to see or know anybody that's gone through some things and walking in her purpose, I tell everybody just to look at me.
One more time. You said, "Look at me." Did you? I'm gonna tell you. Every time I talk to Katrina, this 30-second pitch get different. she be bringing it different every single time, but it's always about empowerment. So, talk to me a little bit about when you joined the CEO Mastermind. What did you think about it? What were your thoughts? And one more time, I did not ask them to give no story. I tell them all to tell the truth. I believe in integrity is my number one criteria working with me, integrity. So my integrity, their integrity. So what was your thoughts, Katrina?
So we had our one-on-one, and I was like, I'm a little scared. Um, she trying to take me a little bit too fast, right? But being in the CEO mastermind, I can say that I learned that believing in yourself and confidence is how you need to show up. Because if you, like myself, if I'm out here trying to promote healing and help people get through things, then I have to show up the way that I need to show up, which is confidence, and to continue to show up so that people can see me and not feel like I am not authentic or scared. So in the CEO mastermind, with Coach Rachel and everyone else, she pushed me and she was like, okay, put this out there, but you have to be confident. That was one of the biggest things, and not stay stuck in the past or in your struggles, because you need to show people what it looks like to heal and not what it looks like to be stuck. So that's one of the biggest things that I learned from the CEO mastermind, is to show up as yourself, authentically as yourself. Who will come
Storms are everywhere. Everywhere we got a storm going on. So she gonna be back with us. And we're gonna be talking about that capable bondage again. But guys, what I tell y'all about being authentically you? What I tell y'all about being authentic? If you just show up as yourself each and every time, and show up with the thought to serve, when you're showing up to serve, that's when it's time. All right, we got Katrina back in the house. Come on now, where's she at? Boom, there it is. That's right. Every time you guys bring that positivity, it try to shut us down. We're not letting anything shut us down. We are still moving forward. So please continue. Tell them more about what you got going on.
So, with my organization, Coach Rachel, I put out different videos. My videos became different, right? So instead of me showing up and talking about the things that I had experienced in the past, I showed up to show what it looks like to heal, what it looks like to be happy, those good days, those bad days, and to spread empowerment. My organization now is moving forward with focusing on what healing looks like. A lot of times people think that healing is sad all the time, or you're going through. No, healing is beautiful as long as you have someone to go along with you. And that's what my organization does. We teach you how to heal out loud. And I myself have been healing out loud for about 8 years now. And so with the CEO Mastermind, I learned that it is okay to be authentic. It is okay to have good days, to have bad days, but also when I'm showing up and I'm talking to people about when I have those bad days, what does that look like to get through to the next step? What does that look like to empower yourself? What does that look like to thrive? And so with the CEO Mastermind, I learned a lot about myself and how to promote my business and how to show up and look and show how I feel. So that is what my organization is doing at this time. Thanks to Coach Rachel, making me uncomfortable.
She didn't have to look like that, kid. Did you see how she just did that then? Come on now. Come on. Being on the other side of uncomfortable is where your breakthrough lies. That's where the breakthrough lies. And you are a business owner that helps other people in their being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To get through it. So you had to be vulnerable and uncomfortable so they could see that it's okay. Because I think I say this a lot. It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
But once you're not okay, it's okay. I think the thing is, once you're not okay, is getting the support so you can get back to a place of being okay. Not getting stuck in not being okay.
Exactly.
Because mental health is real. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And I believe that a lot of people, they see mental health as these couple of diseases or these couple of mental breakdowns that are happening that you hear about. Like you hear a lot about bipolar disorder. You hear a lot about those things, schizophrenia. Those are, but not just about just plain depression.
Exactly.
Or just plain, like today I can't get out of my bed. And I don't want to get out of my bed. And to me, that's when I spoke to you. That's what I really appreciated about what you're gonna do and what you're doing and who we're supporting. Because I want people to know she's not helping y'all. She's supporting. Because helping, y'all gotta look up the definition of helping. Because we're gonna really show you what helping means. Helping means allowing you to be able to help you to guide yourself through something. So she's just reminding you on how to get there. That's all coaches really do. They remind you of how to utilize your gift and your talents to move forward, move past, but recognize that it happened. We got to stop sweeping stuff under the rug. And I think that's what I liked about what Katrina said, that through first recognizing that it happened. Let's stop saying, no, it didn't happen. That did not happen to me. We have to say it happened, face it, and then learn how to get past it. So who are we helping today, Katrina? Who we've been working with? Who we've been working with lately since I haven't seen you for the last 3 or 4 weeks? Guys, I'm telling you, I've been watching the episodes as they drop, and I'm like, I remember when that happened, because I don't look at it after it's edited usually, but I've been looking at them lately because I want to make sure how they look on my TV. Because when I look at them, I'm just looking at them on my phone. But I was looking at them on my TV. I was like, oh, look at them. They look good on there. So who you helping right now, Katrina?
Right now, I am helping parents deal with their teens. I know that there's a lot that's going on in the world these days, and sometimes we as parents, if you was born when I was born, I ain't gonna tell y'all when I was born, but if you was born in the year that I was born and raised in that way, a lot of things that the kids face now, we didn't face. We were able to be free, and social media didn't exist and those types of things. And, your parents say, I'm going to give you something to cry about if you cry, if you're having a bad day. Sometimes you just didn't know how to talk to your parents. Sometimes the parents didn't know how to talk to their kids. And me being a teenager, and my son is 17 and my daughter's 23, me having to understand and talk to them through their language and be able to be open and honest with them, and not always trying to make them feel like they have to be strong, or I'm not someone they can come and comfortably talk to. So I am helping parents and their teens to actually build a better relationship, to be able to communicate with each other, to be able to speak with each other, and to know, like, if you have a bad day on Monday, both of you guys may have a bad day, you sit down and you reflect on it. What could I have done better? What could I have said differently? That doesn't mean that you're a bad parent, but you have to reflect on those things, because the kids listen to that. They learn from that, and they try to go out in the world, and that's how they're going to show up in the world. So it's teaching parents, okay, take accountability, but also the teens as well to take accountability. And then you come together and you talk about it, right? Because you're no longer angry, you're no longer in a bad space, and you come together and you talk about it at the end of the week. And then you understand where your teen is coming from, and the teen understands where the parents are coming from. So that's what I'm currently doing at this time.
Okay, so how do you feel about that? So, I mean, you see that smile? That's what I'm talking about, Keita. That's what we want to see. Because I want people who are helping people, guiding people to be happy about it. If you're not happy about the things you're doing, then we got to figure out a different path on making sure that we can be happy about those things. So, how many people have actually joined are you doing retreats now? Or are you still just doing
retreat? Yeah, the retreats are going to be next year.
Okay.
But right now, I'm just helping to have parents. So for two parents, two teens, then I'm currently helping. I love it though. I love to see them communicate better. I love that they call me and they were like, okay, Katrina, I'm stuck. Right? And I tell them that's okay if you're stuck, right? I just love that they're working through it. I love that they're going through the healing. I love that just being better for their children. Because I can say as a parent, myself, there are some things that I know that I miss. But I know that I allow my kids to be open with me to talk to me, that they help them to be able to come and say if, mine, like how you said it, right? They weren't disrespectful with it, but, mine, like how you said it, and I asked them why, tell me, right? And then I explain to them why I said it like that, why I said it like that. But I love seeing that I've taken my experience and I'm able to give it to others and it's working and they're building a relationship. So I absolutely love that.
So, I mean, I want to say, man, first off, for you to have two sets of parents that you're working with, it's not just about the two parents, that two parents realize that they need to be in communication with their children differently. And I think that to me was the best part of what you wanted to do, because our children want to be heard. Right now in Chicago, we have a whole lot of teen takeovers that have been taking place. So there's been a couple stores that have had teen takeovers, and I think that what everyone is missing, they just want to be heard, and it's not a disruption. They're just trying to be heard. And as parents, a lot of times we remember when we were kids, but we have to remember the world also evolves over time.
Exactly.
And as those things are changing, they're what they see is different than what we saw. And if we're not asking the right questions and we're not involved, we become the conduit that makes them look for other people and other things to help them. So a lot of times people say, well, my gang family, and this is not me saying that's what happens every time, but a lot of kids will say that my gang family made me feel I was a part of something, which means that they were lacking that somewhere else. So if we want to make changes in our communities with our children, we have to be more involved and more willing to listen and be a part of their development and growth. So that is what I love about what you do. I was extremely excited, guys. Y'all, listen, let me tell you, I be extremely excited when I be talking to my mentees. This is not fake TV excited. On the one-on-one, there's no TV. It's just me and them. I was so excited to be hearing about the program. And when we talked through it and came up with this is what she wanted to do, she was like, "Oh, I like that." When that happened, I was like, yes, because that's what you're supposed to do as a coach. You're listening to the person. So I say this to all the coaches out there that are listening, all the coaches that are watching. If you have a one type of plan that does not tailor it to the individual, you're missing out. You're missing out. Because your mentee cannot get a one-size-fit-all thing, because we all are different human beings. We all different thought processes, and we see things differently. So if you have a way that you're doing something, you want to make sure that someone else can add their flair. Because when they add their flair, they're part of the process, and that's where the success comes in. That's how success happens. Because Katrina didn't feel like I just gave her a plan. She felt like we talked on a plan. I guarantee you, Keita, did I give you a plan, or did we work on a plan?
Worked on it together.
Because that is what we should be doing as coaches and when we're coaching people, making sure that the plan is working. And that's what I think that the 10-week mastermind does for me. When it's not working, all right, guys, let's pivot. You know what I'm saying? When it's not working, okay, let's pivot. Let's talk about what pivoting looks like. And as business owners, we have to know when to pivot. And I think that that's something that Keita right now can attest to, probably bigger than anybody. So I pivot every other week. I gotta be honest with you guys. If I see something not working, I'm gonna stop that not working right now. Like, nope. Now, I gotta be honest. I sometimes jump the gun. Wait. I'm not saying I'm right, because I will be like, man, this stuff ain't been working for 4 weeks. We is changing it today. I'll call my team, or I'll send a message to the team, and they're like, wait, what's what's going on? What do you mean we doing? What do you mean you don't want to do that? I don't want to do it. It's not working. And I be having justifiable reasons, guys. I got to be honest. And sometimes, as a business owner, I have to also know what my shortcomings are. I have zero tolerance for things not working the way they're supposed to. I don't have a tolerance for it. So when it's not working the way it's supposed to, I'm like, just throw it in the garbage. Let's start over then. Keita, am I making this up? Am I making it up?
You are not making it up.
We just had a meeting. We was in dailies for like for two hours talking about some stuff. Then we end up chalking it all up and throwing it all in the garbage. All right, we're gonna stick with what we got. We're gonna do this, and this. But sometimes I need to talk it out. And to me, I love having a conversation with individuals that allow me to get what I'm saying out, but also get to hear what they have to say. Because sometimes another person's perspective helps you see it differently. And I think that is what I love about everyone who I've mentored through CEO Mastermind, that all of them are servers. All of them are in service to another individual and in service to themselves. That's the part that they got from the mastermind, to be in service for you. Because if you're not serving, if Katrina ain't serving Katrina well, she can't serve anybody else.
Exactly.
So, Katrina, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can find your program, and are you offering this online too? Because Katrina don't live here in Chicagoland. I want y'all to know that for the record.
So everything in Capable Bondage Thrive, all social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere.
Okay.
So the way to get into the program, you do have to message me because there's a questionnaire that you have to complete, and then I will talk with you and let you know in regards to if you'll be able to come into the program. But that's how you find me. The program is, I don't think that it's intensive. I think that it's just a better way for you to know your team, right? Because they need it. And for someone that's gone through that with their own child, I love it, right? I keep smiling because I love it. I just love helping others and love helping people. So that's how you'll find me. But you can DM me, message me, and then I'll send you the questionnaire to complete, and we'll go from there.
So what I love about it, you just can't get into the program. You can't buy in.
I can't hear.
I must mute myself. No, I'm live. I'm like, can you hear me, Keita? All right, Katrina, cut me off. That's a shame.
I can't hear nothing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So maybe come out and then back.
Okay.
I mean, Katrina gonna cut me off. She's like, that's it. She's like, that's it. She's like, that's it. We didn't heard enough from Coach Rachel today. That's it. That's enough. We talked to her for 10 weeks every week, but for 2 hours at a time. That was enough talking.
I was like, what happened?
I don't know what happened because I didn't even do anything. But I say this, for every single entrepreneur that I work with, I love the fact, as I said, that you guys are serving and serving yourselves. And that thing, to me, I think that's the biggest thing that I bring with the mastermind, to remind you that you have to think of you. And remind you that if you don't build you can't help another individual. So I think that to me is the win-win for any mastermind, to see a person, when they win, they can help their clients win. Win-win. That's the only way we all win. You got to be the best version of you so you can give the best version of you to the people that you serve.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So go ahead and get locked in with Katrina Carter. And I only see part of it. I like to see the Thrive part. She only got part of it down there. And Capable Bondage, Thrive. So what does Thrive stand for? Let's tell them a little bit about that real quick before we all go.
Okay, so Thrive stands for trusting, healing, reinventing, being intentional, vulnerable, and exceptional. What that means is that when you are going through your healing process, you have to thrive, which means you have to trust yourself, you have to push through, and to know that on those days where you don't feel like it, on those days where you feel, you know what, I'm just tired of everybody, right? that you still have to push yourself. And that's what I had to do for myself to push through and to heal. Because for a long time, I stayed silent, I stayed stuck, and I had to push through when I didn't have a support system, when it was just me. And so that's what thriving is for. And the name incapable bondage, because a lot of people was like, what does that mean too? So incapable bondage is also something that has a twist to it. So in life we are bounded by things that we feel like we cannot get out of, right? And we just feel like we just there. So my organization, Incapable Bondage Thrive, helps you to be able to get out of that bondage, to know that yes, it was there. Yes, you may have thought you couldn't get out of it, but we help you to get through it and get out of it as well. So that's what the whole name is for.
I'm gonna tell you guys, I just learned some more about it today. I mean, did I just say y'all every time I talk to the Trina, I got something new that I learned and something new that be happening. So guys, if you guys are looking to have a conversation with your children, or if you as a child are listening to this right now and you want to have a conversation and you and your parents start being more cohesive and get more together, get locked in. Go ahead to those Facebook groups, DM, get that application so you guys can get locked in with someone who has been there, done that, and is just reminding you guys on how to do the same. Y'all get locked in. Keita, let's tell us a little bit about where they can find you when she's ready to be found. But for Canva Cuisine,
so let me clear it
up. How they can get locked in with Canva Cuisine and see the beautiful things that you are doing and bringing those meals so people can really eat.
Yes. So I am Peter Moye on Facebook. Everything else is prize possession. So let me bring this back full circle. So I do want to be found. It's just in different tiers. So Canva Cuisine has an exclusive cook community, and then it has a power plate community. So where I used to have retained clients coming in, they now fall under power plate. And so they still get my creativity, they still get brainstorming, they still get one-on-one calls. It's just structured a little differently. And so if you are an entrepreneur that's looking to position yourself in a way that supersedes your imagination, that's definitely connect and get you on a discovery call. And when I say different and out of the box, if you go to my page today, I just released a campaign. And so I don't know how many of you guys have watched the Netflix show that has everybody in a chokehold, Polygamist. I did a spin on it and called it The Bisamist. And I created a whole deception about businesses as opposed to the betrayal. So that's how my brain works. And so if you're a brain that's looking to get positioned by way of creativity, then you definitely want to get locked in with Canada Cuisine and become either an exclusive cook or a power plate. And so I'm super excited to talk to you guys. And so, Coach Rachel, I still do offer, my discovery calls. They get a recipe for success. After that, it just is now going into a different entity.
So I want to say that I totally believe in it, because what I did after season 4 of Mastermind, that you no longer can buy into the season 4 Mastermind. You have to be invited into season 4 to the next season of the CEO Mastermind. To start with the Mastermind, you must now go through the business blueprint, which is where you still get the one-on-one and you get the 10-week plan. And you get to watch on-demand videos to make sure that you're ready to actually build your brand and bring your brand out. CEO Mastermind is about showcasing your brand. It's about you already being ready to get ready. It's the next level. So I did something very similar right after the season 4 Mastermind. I said, okay, what is it that I'm looking for each person in the Mastermind to get? I want them to have that foundational business. So when they get on here for those 30-second pitches, we're ready. And how we scale to get more clients? How do we scale to get to the $10,000 a month? How do we get there? You have to have those foundations. So I'm setting those foundations behind the scenes as opposed to on camera.
And when you create that level of exclusivity, you kind of weave out the people that's not ready. So I tell people when I have this thing, if you're not ready to eat, don't come to the table. If you're really not hungry, stop talking around. move over and let us eat at this table. So when you create some sense of exclusivity, you're able to tell the people that's really serious about moving with their business. So I love that you're doing the blueprint method because it just lets you know who's serious about moving. And as coaches, we want people that's going to take it serious, right? Your time is precious. And you want to make sure that everything that you're giving to the CEO mastermind isn't being falling on deaf ears. So I love it.
Oh, absolutely. And it came a lot from conversations that I had with my mentees and hearing things that they were talking about and we were discussing. And I said, I want to make sure that they're a lot more ready than just getting on air and cameras are not set up. We're not ready. We're talking about, this is actually on TV, guys. CEO Mastermind is actually a TV show. So for us to be on TV, there's a certain level and aesthetic we need to be at. Let's make sure we're ready. No, we're going to start getting ready. We're going to be ready by the time we get to CEO Mastermind. So if you guys want to know more about the blueprint, the business blueprint, so the 10 weeks that they got, you get it. The one-on-one, you get it. And you get on demand. So every week we did a whiteboard where we talked about the particular task for the week. You guys get that as well. The only thing we don't get just yet is the visibility. But visibility comes with you being ready. Your business doesn't need to be visible until your business is ready to be. So you ready to get ready? Go ahead and get the business blueprint. I'll drop the link in the comment. It just happened to come up. I wasn't thinking about putting it out there, but y'all can go ahead and get the business blueprint and get locked in. It is not free. I want to say that for the record. It is not free. But on the same token, it is very reasonably priced. How about this? I'm even drop a link down there that gives you $100 off. So I'm giving you more than half off. So that you know it's less than $200 regularly, but you'll get it for less than $100. Only while the CEO Mastermind, while Wake Up CEO is on. So y'all got 55 minutes. I'll drop the link and I'll drop the code down there. See, I got to create the code when I go to commercial break because I don't have a code right now. But you guys will see that code momentarily.
And so I just want to say,
sometimes things just happen. And as an entrepreneur, you got to be ready to pivot. What you got, Keita? I know you got something.
Next week, we're doing cheat days.
I can't hear you. What you do? Come back, Keita.
Can you hear me? You can't hear me?
Nope.
How about now?
Nope. Nope. You there? All right. I don't know where Keita went, but that's all right. Keita, she'll be back and she'll say some things because she gonna have something to say. So it's all right.
Can you hear me now?
Keita didn't kicked herself off. She said she don't want to talk no more now. No, now I hear you. Now I can hear you. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Hey, guys, as I said, we're having a storm here in the Chicagoland area. That might be what's going on. And plus, it's time for Reverend Erica to come drop her gems on us as well. So let's get her back on the screen and see if we can hear her. What you got for us, Keita?
You can't hear me.
Nope. That's right. Drop it in the comments for us what you had for us so we can get that last little piece of information. So I want to thank the CEO Mastermind. This is only two. There were several people on the Mastermind that were unable to make it. You know, people out there making money. We had Neek. She's out there. Shanique was out there doing her Juneteenth thing. She's out there doing it big. So she was on the road and couldn't make it with us. Deidre had a special client, and that's Deidre Dixon. She had something good. She had to get take care of. Business. Chrissy J, she with Fashion and Widows, she had more to share. Guys, get locked in, stay locked in with businesses are looking to grow and develop. You want to shop with people who are in our community. You want to buy within our community. Take a look at the CEO Mastermind. Those are people in the community who are ready to serve. So I'm gonna leave that with you guys. Stay locked in right here on My Radio Chicago. When I come back, I'm gonna have the Reverend Erica Turner talking about how we are going to get spiritually aligned on Elevated Wisdom Wednesday. So stay locked in right here on My Radio Chicago. We are all looking to get to the cash. So I have the perfect book series for you by award-winning author Rachel L. Gary. Volume 1, Forged in Fire, Readers Rose from Life's Ashes. In Volume 2, #Poverty Six Figures, they broke those mental chains. Now comes Volume 3, Freedom Has GPS, reminding you that you are born to soar and build a legacy. What chapter helps you feel more committed to being a CEO of your life?
It was chapter 8, breaking the chains, breaking the cycles of the things are not benefiting my business.
Chapter 7, coming full circle to my why, because I need a focal point, no pun intended, as a designer.
Chapter 4, but package the offer. That was my struggle, putting that price together and believing in that price.
Managing the machine, really just thinking about managing what we're doing, understanding what we're doing, and really fine-tuning how this thing is going to run.
Chapter about the self-fillers. And everything that I do, I always get caught up in whatever is going on around. Throughout this process, I have made myself the focal point.
Freedom has GPS, now I spell oh, moment more. To the greatness that lies in.
Questions were exact and to the point of what I needed, but immediately I was able to apply some extra income immediately this past week.
Charging $150 for these classes. So I had 30 people show up each day. I charge $150 and we're like 40.
I've gotten like three more clients since I revamped again. And I'm really grateful for that.
I actually hit my goal. I think I was at 158. And so this week I'm now at 170 RSVPs for my lunch party.
I have been uploading consistently, sharing it, and also promoting and marketing on. I did build up my own team as well. The business, I also did crack in another client.
Welcome to the CEO Mastermind.
My questionnaire, the questions were just very exact and to the point of what I needed. And when I met with her in my one-on-one session, I found it to be very profound.
Excited for this. This is something I really need and something I've been looking for a while.
It's an assessment. Like, it asks questions that make you think deep about what you want your life to go.
The 10-week financial focus plan she gave me helped me to see it in a better way where it would make money.
It was basically a reality. Something that looked like a dream, but in reality it was nothing but a shift of mindset. It's a state of mind.
Out and moving to the greatness we all know lies within who? You CEOs. See you next week right here on CEO State of Mind. minute. Are you a leader, supervisor, manager who is looking to turn your gifts into profit? I have a 10-week course that'll show you how to make $2,500 or more in 10 weeks. You want to learn more? Click the link below and see others just like you who made it happen. Wait, are you ready? All right. We are back. And no, not only are we back with Reverend Erica Turner. Guys, y'all know what we about to get to. We about to get into that Wisdom Wednesdays. Erica, what you got for us today?
So I'm bringing back a little bit of what we talked about a month ago, where we talked about the divine feminine and divine masculine, the left and right hemispheres of the brain, for one, and renewing your mind, changing your perception.
Okay.
What we're talking about today.
Okay. Let's get locked in with that. Come on now. What you got? Left and right hemispheres of the brain. Let's talk about that feminine and masculine energies.
All right, so
before we get locked in, tell them who you are and why did you come join us and grace us with your wisdom today?
So I am Reverend Erica. I am a metaphysical or ordained metaphysical minister, spiritual life coach, aka embodiment coach. I teach Christ embodiment. I specialize in Bible interpretation. And so that's pretty much what I do. That's pretty much the gist of who I am. I'm also a jack of all trades. I have many other things that I got going on, but I'm not going to be able to list it all here right now.
We're going to stay focused on the spiritual. And then if you guys want to learn more, go to them pages. All right, go ahead. So we talk about the left and right side of the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what made you choose that topic for us to dive into today?
Because what I feel like a lot of people need to understand about life in general, about the way that they do things, the way that they've been operating, that a lot of things that you don't really realize that you are acting out of what may be a fear and survival mode. We're all stuck in survival mode. And a lot of that has to do with the left hemisphere of the brain, meaning we have been operating mostly from the left hemisphere of the brain for the most part, which is in masculine energy. The masculine energy represents the physical world. It represents action. It represents knowledge, intellect, and things of that nature. But it's like we have been using that side of the brain more so, which keeps us in a survivor mode, because we have to protect ourselves. We want to protect everybody else. We're also having to work at these jobs, trying to keep bills and rent and things paid. And we forget about ourselves, where we forget to take care of ourselves and we don't think that those things are as much important as they should be, because we're constantly focusing on the external world, external things of the world.
You know, I just was reading something more recently, and I do mean real recently, like yesterday recently, where we were talking it was Myron Golden. I'm one of these people that I always accredit when I get information to the person who I heard the information from, that made me go on to a journey about that we live in our needs more so than our desires. Mm-hmm. Because when we're living in our needs, that's like bills. We have to pay our bills. Mm-hmm. But when we live in our desires and we harness the things of our desires or what we desire, and this is not desire as in, because desire has two different meanings. So I'm talking from the meaning of what we want, what we are saying that we want. Because not desire, I'll get into the definition in a moment. So the whole purpose is when you choose your desire, it pays for your needs.
Yes.
And a lot of times, but this also goes into why we have so many things that we're doing to pay for our needs, because we haven't figured out how to create assets in our desires to supply our needs. So I think this goes into, is really going to segue into why we need to use the other side of our brain to start moving forward in things that are outside of us so we can really grow. I have to drop that in because I just heard that yesterday.
That's funny.
and then I went on a 5-hour deep dive to find out a lot more information about both. Guys, that's just how my brain works. I hear something that sparks interest, and I'm a person who verifies facts. Mm-hmm. I verify anything that I'm talking about. I verify it. Then I was like, okay. Then I want to know what the history is on it. Then 5 hours I was deep into that. So learned a whole lot about the difference between wants, needs, and desires, and really determine why. That's why I always am working in desires, and I'm never concerned about what other people are thinking of me, and I'm never worried about looking rich, because it's never a thing on my mind, because I care less what other people are thinking. Mm-hmm. Because when you are rich, you're not worried about what people are thinking, because who cares if they know you're rich? All right, guys, back to the left and right side of the brain. Because I just really went into I was so much in my right side of the brain yesterday. It was incredible. Lock them in.
Okay. So with that, like the way how, like, if you pay attention to the way that how we're operating, how we move and everything, it's always in a sense of like urgency and like, I gotta do this, I gotta have this, I gotta do this so I can do that and everything. And that kind of takes away, like, we forget, it's like we subconsciously forget and suppress the divine feminine, which is the mother, which is the right side of the brain, which is the creation part of us, which is the intuitive part of us, which is why a lot of us do not trust ourselves. We don't know how to, and when people talk about intuition, people get like, they try to dismiss it, like outsiders or something like that, or like non-believers and everything. They try to question it, or they try to dismiss it, and they call it something else, but that's literally a natural part of who you are. And when we say trust your intuition, go with your gut, go with your intuition. Intuitive people, you have people doing that do intuitive readings. It is just guidance, and people get to relying on that reading and thinking that, okay, this is going to tell me what I need to do, this and that, but it's really just guiding you, giving you some type of guidance and everything. People want you to just tell them what to do. Basically, they want instruction. They want you to just be like, do this, do that, and everything, and they don't have to think about it. They just do it because you said it. And that's literally how we've been living our lives. And that's how it shows in our lives, and then it also can show into business. So if your business is down, if your business is not going right, if your life is not going right, you have to stop and look at yourself and see what is not going right in your life, what's not aligned in your life personally or around you and everything. And then you have to try to redo that, or like kind of fix it in a way. I can't find the right word right now, but basically it's the transformation, renewing your mind, changing the way how things have been done. So when we talk about transforming the mind and changing your perception, renewing the mind and everything, that is bringing your brain back into alignment with itself to work in harmony with itself. Divine masculine and feminine working together, which is what we all represent as human beings. We are the physical form of the divine masculine and feminine. God is both energies. And I had a vision of this. As a matter of fact, it was in a dream. I asked, what is God? I said, what gender is God? Because this is another thing that keeps us so disconnected, without you even realizing that you're still being disconnected. Even though you think you're connected to God, you are really still disconnecting yourself from God, because you're constantly just worried and thinking about what gender is God. Is God male or female? And everybody keeps arguing over God is a woman, God is a man, God is this and that. God is both. It is both feminine energy and masculine energy. It is the creative energy as well as the active energy. What is created in the unseen is what then the masculine takes action to bring it into the physical. It all works together. It's intertwined. And that's what we represent as a physical form of that, made in God's image. Does that make sense?
I'm going to tell you, I took a whole moment. Come on, Erica, because I mean, I think that when you say that when you made the mention of us debating back and forth about whether it is all, whenever we are spending time on things that really don't matter, it is misaligning us with the things that do. And that is, to me, was the most profound part of it, that God is both. If God is everything and everywhere, that means it's everything and it is everywhere. I think that the word he and she were used for power plays more so than because we stopped using the word energies. Because back millennia ago, we used energies. We didn't even use he and she's. We didn't use female, masculine, men. It was not female. It was masculine, feminine. That is what it was called about a person's essence. Because there are a lot of men that have a lot of feminine energy, more feminine energy than masculine energy. I mean, that they exhibit. At the end of the day, I think that we spend so much time concerned about things that don't matter, that we're spending less time about the spirituality within us that does. And
you don't realize how much that still keeps you separated from the divine itself.
Absolutely. Because while you are debating, let's take a second on this. Let's take 1 second. And I promise I'm going to speak more than 1 second. 1 minute, because I took a second to say that. 1 minute. So the 1 minute I'm going to talk about right now is this. If he was a man, or if she is a female, who is going to be able to tell you the truth? I want you to really think about it. Who is going to be able to prove it either way? There is no proof either way. So let's table that, as my friend will say. Let's table that discussion and get to some discussions that matter. And that is what Reverend Erica is talking about right now. Let's get to what really truly matters and stop debating about things that we cannot prove, nor should we be trying to figure out. Because if we prove that it's a man, or if we prove it's a female, what difference does that make? The only person that benefits from it is the person who wants to oppress someone else and take dominion over them, when no one should have dominion over anyone. I'm just saying. That's what that battle really is all about.
And that's
power.
That's what's imbalanced. That's why it's so imbalanced in the world, because the masculine and feminine is not being in harmony, but it's trying to get back. And so that's what we're seeing right now and everything. And a lot of people that, if you don't have eyes to see, you probably won't see it. But if you pay attention, the masculine and the feminine are trying to get back in harmony with each other. And when you see that also in the physical form, sometimes that also is a representation and a reflection of what is happening there. And a lot of times, and this is another thing, that this is what the world makes you think. This is what the world puts in your mind, is that when you talk about feminine and masculine, that it has, and you talk about them being together, working in harmony, they automatically run to relationship. It's not about relationship, because we all are supposed to be working together in harmony with each other, regardless of a relationship.
Our relationship, our first relationship should be to God. This is not religious. I want to make sure y'all hear me. When I speak on the show, I'm not talking about religious. I'm talking about spirituality. Spiritually, our first relationship should be to God. And then, I want to say, if we stay focused on our relationship to God and with God and of God, then we can get to a place of understanding, growth, and development, and seeing. The reason why we can't see is because we're so convoluted with the things that are being seen. Because to see is really to see the unseen.
Yes.
That's what seeing really is.
And this is what Christ was trying to get people to understand. He kept redirecting, saying that the kingdom of God is within you. Within. I have to keep saying that because this is where people miss it. People overlook this. People just don't, for some reason, do not understand it, and they constantly still look outside of themselves. And I actually teach this in my course, so I'm not going to get deep into it. But
where can they find that course? Hold on, we're not going to pass it neither. We're going to drop that in there. So where can they get more information about about this particular subject of getting more within yourself, as Christ was said in the Bible, the Quran, the Torah? Well, you just pick one of them. In every single one. I mean, just pick one.
They all point to inward.
So where can they go to learn a little bit more about getting more in tune with that?
So you could go to my Stan store, which is stan.store/divine overflow. On there, you'll see a bunch of different things, but you'll see the divine embodiment program course on there right now.
Is it .com? Sorry.
No, it's just stan.store. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, y'all.
You go there, you'll see other things on there, but you'll see the divine embodiment program on there. And you can actually join the community for free. The course is at $197 right now. It's on sale for $197, but it's regularly $297. So you can actually get the course there. And it's a 12-week course, a 12-module, 12-week course where I'm actually coaching you and I'm showing you everything. And it's very engaging. It's very interactive. You will have challenges. Okay. I gotta let y'all know this before you get the course, because you might get triggered. There's some things in there that might trigger you. Be prepared for this. If you really want change and you really want to embody your divine self, your higher self, your purpose, you want to be Christ embodied and you want to walk in that, then you have to do the work, not skipping steps.
Guys, y'all know I'm about action. So y'all know I agree with putting in the work. So putting in the work means you got to do some work. And I said this, we're doing work anyway, but we're just mindlessly working now. When you first started watching TV, you had to cut the TV, you had to get up, cut the TV on. Now you have a remote, you got the remote, you got to cut it on. Then you got to check your mind, you got to check your mind in so it can watch the show. We don't think we do that, but we consciously have to do it every single time. Mm-hmm. It's the same way for you to unlearn the things that do not serve you. One more time. Unlearn the things that do not serve you so you can get to a place of serving yourself and God within and getting more aligned with your purpose. Guys, one more time, I want y'all to know that me and Erica don't talk about this beforehand. Mm-hmm. I don't know what she's going to talk about on the show. I do that on purpose because I like to be surprised. I like to be surprised. I'm just that way. I want to engage with understanding and knowing and not preparation. Something I don't want to prep for. But that's what I hear about what you're saying. If I'm missing it, you please correct me.
No, you're right. You on point.
Okay. I appreciate it. Check mark for Coach Legend, Coach Rachel today. Hey, guys, I'm used to being legend. Y'all got to remind myself I'm back at work now. Coach Rachel, go ahead, get a check today. But So let's talk a little bit. Let's dive back into the masculine and feminine side, and what can we talk a little bit more about the feminine side. We talked about the masculine side, but let's talk a little bit more about the feminine side, so we can get locked into those two differences and how we can give ourselves the balance.
So the feminine side of the brain. Okay, that is the one. That's what we subconsciously use sometimes. So I'm not saying that we don't use it at all, but it is less used than the masculine brain, because the feminine brain is the intuition. It is where the wisdom is. It is where the creation is. It is where all the things that is unseen in the universe, everything that is created in the universe, that is in thought, whatever your thoughts are, that's your feminine brain right there. If you are thinking about something, you're using the feminine brain, because it is unseen until it is seen in the physical, which then becomes masculine. This is where I was saying that both of them are used together in harmony. So we cannot use one more than the other, because then we dominate ourselves with one other brain. And if we continuously do that, it could be sickening to some people and everything. Which could be why we may see some people possibly having strokes sometimes, because one part of their brain is not working properly and everything, because one part of that brain has been overworked. It's been so you can't function right. And so you have to get these energies back into alignment with each other so that does not happen. But I think that like right now, naturally, it's starting to happen on its own. And it's like for a lot of people, some people may not understand it. Some people may not realize it and everything, or catch on to it. But at some point in the age of what we're in now, we're in the age of knowing instead of just believing. And it's like, it's time to actually know now and really take action, instead of always constantly just believing and talking about things and stuff like that, and you're not doing nothing about it. Because how many times are you just going to keep on talking about something, complaining about something and stuff, but you're not doing anything to get out of it, because you're not transforming yourself.
So are you saying that I gotta do some work? Because God, listen, I'm not saying myself per se, because that's what we were just talking about, action, putting in work. Are we ready to stop living the way we're living today? The decision is yours. No one can decide for you. We make a decision every day to go to work. We make a decision every day to come home. We make a decision to make stops at the stores. Those are decisions we make. Whether you say, I need the money from the job, I want you to hear you. I need the money from the job. I need the stuff from the store. You're telling yourself that you must do this to get that. So I'm one of these really inquisitive people. I want to be more aligned with God, the God within me, the spirituality that surrounds me and within me, because it allows me to maybe possibly grow into not needing to go to the job and not needing to go to the store, and makes me want to start moving in alignment with a higher calling on my life. That most definitely will transform all those needs into being taken care of, because now I'm walking in divinity with myself, in alignment with myself,
Trusting, believing.
Come on.
You already have it, because it's already yours. See, we've been so conditioned and programmed to believing that we have to live a certain way, that we have to work these jobs, that we have to pay for this and that, when really you really don't. And you can see that through even the people that have already gone off grid. themselves because they know that God already provides. And a lot of them put, they had to, they sacrificed certain things and stuff that was of the physical world to have the naturalness of being able to just live free, have them some land and create their own, communities or whatever. And that's what we're trying to get. That's what we're all trying to get to, because naturally we're not supposed to be doing all of this. Okay. And I want to say something. It's just like when we back into the scriptures, when we look at the Pharisees, okay, they were so stuck on their traditions. Christ called out how they were hypocrites. They said, well, yeah, this is what he said, and this was in Matthew 23. Matthew 23, where he says that, yeah, they are the interpreters of Moses' law. They do these things, they teach this, but listen to what they're saying, but do not follow their example, because they do not practice what they teach. Basically. And that is literally how this whole world has been. And this world has been in a Pharisaical consciousness mindset for so long, as well as in a kind of, well, I want to say Saul as well, but Saul, he was a part of the Pharisees as well. So it's still the world has been in a more Pharisaical world.
So for the layman, what does that mean?
A Pharisaical world?
Yes.
So a Pharisaical world is basically where you have grown accustomed to the traditions that you've grown up with, that is all that you know, and that you're constantly putting that out into this world. So let's say like this. You grew up in church. You grew up as a Christian. You grew up praying, doing Bible study, doing all of these things and praising the Lord and everything like that, right? Ain't nothing wrong with it. But you grew up doing all of this in a certain way, in a way that they told you to do it. You grow up, you're constantly putting this out there, and now you're teaching your children how to do it and everything like that. So now you have people that have left the church, and they have changed their ways, and they have changed the way that they do things. They have changed the way that they see Christ. They have changed the way how they realize that they don't have to go to a church. They don't have to go and do all this to believe in God. They don't have to do all of these different things. Okay. And they start doing things differently, and then they start doing things more embodied like Christ did. Christ himself spoke out against religious institutions, religious leaders, and the Pharisees. And he told you that you don't need a building to believe in God or to know God. You don't need these things to do all this. He said, you hypocrites, you are so content and so caught up with your traditions that you can't even see the true spirit here in front of you. I'm showing you the things, I'm doing the things, you still blaspheming me, you're still stoning me, you're still questioning me, and you demonize me for doing these things. And then you ask me, who am I? You ask me, if you are the Messiah, then tell us why. I tell you that I have told you, but you do not believe. I have told you, I have shown you, but you do not believe. How much longer do I have to be here with you people? I'm just quoting Jesus. These are Jesus's words, you guys, aka Yeshua. I know what it is, but he said this to the people. He was getting fed up himself. Because he's like, how much more do I have to say to you guys? What more do you want me to show you? I'm telling you that I'm the Son of God. I'm telling you that I am the Christ. I'm telling you I am Messiah. And I'm telling you that you are too.
I'm gonna give Reverend Erica like 2 seconds because she about to get all the way in this bag. So I want you guys to understand what she's saying. Let's get this into regular everyday terms. We have been so brainwashed into the life that we lead today that when the truth is being shown to you, when the truth is being told to you, you fight against it. That's what we're talking about on Wake Up CEO. The whole conversation that I have on Wake Up CEO is wake up from the dogma. Wake up from the life that you believe you could have and step into the CEO that is you, already in you. I speak from the place of where God touched me and asked me to start to do what I'm doing. I think I've told this story on Wake Up CEO before, that God, in my meditation, told me to quit my job and start to coach. I follow with that. And I will tell you guys, in every sense of the word, every door, and I'm going to tell you, I am not religious at all. I'm very spiritually aligned, but not religious at all. Doors open up. And Christ, the Spirit of Christ was not religious either. But the purpose is this, is that when you step into you, doors for you become open. Because when you're stepping in alignment with the God that is within you, that light shines to open up things for you. Remember, guys, when I say I'm an introvert, when I say that I stuttered and could not speak, go back 3 years and look at my very first video, Dope Living TV, I did in June of 2023. I stuttered through half of the video. Every week, I did a podcast called Habits. Then I met some great individuals, Shy Blizz being one of them, and that allowed me to come on My Radio Chicago. And right now, if you guys hear me stutter, it is very rare. But that's all because when you step into alignment, alignment steps with you. So I know that when you hear something that is different from what you are used to hearing, the hardest thing is to give up on what you believe is secure. Mm-hmm. But security lies within you. It lies within your actions. You make the determination every day to step in alignment with what you believe. How about this? You step into alignment with something that you know is not even a good thing for you. I want you to hear that. You step in alignment every day on something that you know is not good for you, but you're not willing to step into yourself on what is probably possible for your life. We make the choice to listen or not. Do you give yourself enough time to hear? Hear. Do you give yourself enough time for that? Because that is the reason why we are stuck in the, I'm using societal words here, in the dead end job. This is why we're stuck in paying bills for things that we could not afford on credit. This is why we're stuck in those matrix of life, because we won't step into the life that's within us. I get baffled a lot of times. And whenever whenever Reverend Erica comes up in here, she messes me up because I'm going to tell you, the energy that she gives is so enlightenment. It makes me speak very candidly. And I'm not saying I'm not candid on Wake Up CEO. I'm not saying that. But I speak more spiritually aligned when she's in here. We're going to have to keep her off the show. This is her last show. No, I'm just joking. No, but because most of the time I'm talking to you guys from a point of empowerment of you and your business. And I always remind you guys of one thing, that empowerment of your business has to step through you. Your business can only grow as much as you do. If you're not spiritually aligned with yourself, spirituality doesn't come from you, which means that when you're trying to serve, you're serving from a place of want and need, not from a place of I want to help serve and give you something. That's why our businesses do not work. Our businesses do not work because we're not in service. We're trying to be served, utilizing the word of service. I just serve. We just heard of people from CEO Mastermind. I just serve. Me and Erica were talking in the car on the way here. I'm just serving. I guarantee you that nothing I am doing is for monetary value, because my reward will come. But it will not come at the price of me swindling another. That's also in the Bible. Check it out. It's all. I speak very candidly from words I've read from the Bible. I had the privilege as a kid of reading the Bible and reading the Ethiopian Bible well before anyone was even talking about it on a regular basis. And if one more time, I want to hear you. I want you guys to hear this right here on Wake Up CEO. The Ethiopian Bible was the first Bible that was translated. One more time. It was translated from an already existing book. So it was also a replica of something else. Not talking about the Bible itself. I'm just speaking about the words. If the words had to be translated, somebody else wrote them.
Exactly.
So what words are in you that God is putting in your heart?
The word is always in us, regardless of any book. The word is naturally in us already. That's why people have these things and are able to write things down, and people have to translate it from this scribe, this scroll, this papyri, this book, scripture, passage. That's why, because it all goes all the way back to way back when. But real quick, I want to say this story about Saul real quick, kind of a little mini story about Saul. And this talks about how the world it talks about the Pharisaical world, what I was just talking about. When you grow up accustomed to traditions, you think that you are serving God. You are convinced. Nobody truly actually wakes up and says that they're going to be evil and they're going to do evil things. Okay. Saul, he literally thought and believed and was convinced that he was serving God when he was doing what he was doing, off in all the followers of Christ and everything like that, because he was a part of the Pharisees and their teachings. And yes, while they would teach everything, they did not do exactly what they were teaching. And so he grew up and he grew accustomed to what they were doing. And he took that as, this is me serving God and everything, until he had his conversion and Christ showed himself to him and everything. And then everything changed just like that. And that's when he ended up writing them letters and wrote into Romans to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because what he was doing, he even tells his own story in Acts, where he's telling you about how he was blindly following the traditions of his ancestors, the traditions of the people that he grew up with. So just if you look at that and you look at how you grew up and everything, and you see that, oh, well, this is how I was always brought up. I was always brought up, believing in this and doing this and that and everything. But who told you that what you were doing were right? If you are out there, you still judging people. If you are out there bad mouthing people, you bad mouthing yourself. If you're out there doing anything that is not what Christ taught, then that is not of God. And you need to do a reevaluation on yourself. So you need to go back and you need to go look at Saul's story. Saul and Paul is the same person. you need to also go back and look at the Pharisees, pay attention to what they were doing and why they were doing it, and then look at what Jesus was doing and why he was doing it, and then put those pictures together and then look at what you're doing in your life. Now, are you doing what Jesus did, or are you doing what the Pharisees did? Because a lot of the time, majority of the time, you are actually operating and doing what the Pharisees did.
Guys, I want to say, man, I feel so enlightened right now. Be honest, I feel elevated right now. I mean, not because it's elevated wisdom Wednesdays, because I just do. I mean, it's the light of the conversation. And I want to speak on what she was speaking about Saul. When Christ came to Saul, can we just speak a little bit about what was Saul doing when Christ came to him? Because I want y'all to understand this wasn't something he saw with his eyes. So could you just speak a little bit on that? Because only reason I'm having her bring this out, because I want y'all to really understand when the people in the Bible, if you guys are following the lessons in the Bible, if you're looking at those words in the Bible, did you hear or read or really understand that they're not speaking with their eyes? Could you break that down just a little bit for them? We don't got much time, but we're going to give y'all a lot within these 8 minutes.
So what Saul was doing before Christ came to him, Saul was basically murdering believers, the followers of Christ. He was going from town to town because from what he was told from the religious leaders in his church or whatever, they told him, the kings and them, they told him to go and to murder anybody that was not following their traditions and everything. Anything, if they were following Christ or they're doing anything in Jesus' name, to go and put them in prison, persecute them, do whatever. And he was so wholeheartedly on this. And it was like, it wasn't that he was just naturally being evil. He just naturally really thought that he was serving God in this. It says that in the Bible that he thought he was serving God. He tells you this in his story in Acts, where he said that he thought that he was serving God when he was doing that, because that is what the Pharisees taught. That is what, they taught it, but the way that they taught it, they were doing the opposite. And they actually did a literal thing where they were persecuting and killing people because they were not following their traditions. And so he was thinking that in doing this, I'm serving God. And when he did that, Christ came to him and said, "Why are you persecuting me?"
Where was he when this was told to him?
He was, I believe he was in Damascus or on the way to Damascus.
So I'm gonna try to get to the. So was he in a state of walking, or was he in a state of being?
He was in the state of being.
So I'm going to tell y'all why I took her down the path, because he didn't see with his eyes. Mm-hmm. He was seeing through his eyes, mm-hmm. in his heart.
Yes.
A lot of times when we're looking, this is the looking outside of, as opposed to looking inside of. I was trying to get her to get to the part of he was inside himself when Christ came to him. Mm-hmm. Guys, how much are we doing that's against what we say to ourselves? Think about it. I pause for a reason on Wake Up CEO, guys. How many times is your internal mind saying, don't do this, and you override it and do it anyway? So when your inner self, which is God, talking to you in your mind, getting your pineal glands together, I'm just trying to help you guys get there. You talk yourself out of the path of right. Mm-hmm. Every day. We are afraid of what people that are judging us. I want y'all to hear what I'm going to say right quick. You are afraid of someone judging you who does not have their selves together. You are afraid of someone that's judging you that you don't even like. Nor would you live your life by. So when we're sitting around thinking of what other people are doing or going to say, take a second and think and listen to what the God in you is saying. Because what people external of you are only talking from a place of not reaching that inner paradigm. Get locked in with you, and all else shall follow. Get locked in with God, which is within you. Guys, that's just my little my interpretation from what Reverend Erica said, and my interpretation for things that I have read. As I said, I am not a reverend. I'm just an individual who did a lot of research in my lifetime. And the reason why this is Wisdom Wednesdays is because Erica brings that wisdom, that's internal wisdom. Because a lot of these things she talks about, and if you guys, you guys gotta listen to this every month, because she's told this story about a lot of these things she learned from within before she ever saw them on black and white. So that means God was already talking to her, through her, about a scripture she had never read. Because the understanding is within. Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure that we all guys. I know we be laying it heavy, but Wake Up CEO is not a show for entertainment. Wake Up CEO is about waking up the person that is clear in their actions, empowered by their choices, and owning their direction to be the CEO of your life. Reverend Erica, tell them where they can get in touch with you at. Y'all, because guys, I can't wait till, I swear, we got to figure out something about these for 4 long weeks before I get more of this wisdom. But you can also go to stans.store/divine overflow to make sure you guys get locked in for her next upcoming classes. Get locked in for your upliftment, for you to get an understanding of who you are and who is within you. Let's get locked in. So where they find you, Erica? Other than Stan Store.
You can see me on YouTube, where I'm still building my page. I need at least like 11 more subscribers so that I can actually go live on YouTube. So
11 people.
Find me on YouTube at Reverend Erica. Okay.
Hold on. We were supposed to give me this last week. Hold on.
I think you already subscribed.
Okay, I might be subscribed, but they got to subscribe. So we need 11 people to subscribe so Erica can go live. 11 people. So 11 people. Bree, can you do me a favor? Because I see you out there. Can you please drop her a link in the chat for me? Because it'll take me forever to find it. So we need 11 people to subscribe. And who I'm talking to is Lady Red, the producer, that it happens to be her best friend, happens to be one of the mentees of the CEO Mastermind, happens to be the producer of. Wait, hold on. I'm not promoting for no breathing. I was just joking. She does event recaps, and she also has a new ebook out. So guys, y'all get locked in with Lady Red, the producer. Guys, as I said, I'm in competition with no one and in collaboration with everyone. So she gonna drop that down to where we can where you guys can get locked in. 11 more subscribers. 11 people out there who felt touched by today. 11 people out there who got some wisdom on Wednesday. Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, so I could go live, y'all. I could give y'all all my gems, most of them. But anyway, yeah, follow me on YouTube at Reverend Erica. Okay, and then you can also find me on TikTok, The Spiritual Life Coach 8. That's the number 8, and Instagram, DBA_ The Healing Goddess. So that's where you can find me at. Oh, Facebook, also Reverend Erica Turner.
Guys, I say every week we have the pleasure of Reverend Erica coming here, gracing us with those gems, gracing us with that spiritual information that can enlighten and allow us to embody the best version of ourselves so we can get aligned and more in tune with how to grow and develop ourselves to be more in tune with the God within. Now, y'all know where I'm going to be next week. I'm going to be right here on Wake Up CEO on my radio, Chicago. Y'all already know Support District Radio. Get to that www.supportdistrictradio.com/stations/Chicago to get locked in with the other great, amazing personalities that are on the station. Believe me, I'm not the only one, but I am the one of the one. So we'll say at the end of the day, I want you guys to stay focused on being the best version of you. Stay focused on the growth of you and get locked in. So we had 2 things that we did drop in the chat for you guys where you can actually get in touch with Reverend Erica and get locked into one of her classes. I also dropped in there how you guys can get locked into the business blueprint that starts with 20 questions that allow me to help you align your business with where you want it to go. Because everything I do on Wake Up CEO is all about alignment with the best version of you. And until later, CEOs, I want y'all to be up, out, and moving to the greatness we all know lies within who? You. See you next week right here on Wake Up CEO.
Saying possible, possible.
Freedom has GPS. Rachel L. Gary. Rachel L. Gary.
Yeah. We've been riding in circles, same stress, same scene, trying to find peace while we're chasing a dream. Then Rachel L. Gary put the map in our hands. Now it's clarity on the dash. We got plans on plans. Boundaries unlocked, no detours for the doubt. If it don't match the mission, we routing it out. Purpose in the pedal, we don't wait on the sign. CEO of our life, watch the whole thing align. We set the destination. We move with intention. No more drifting. We chose the vision.
We chose the vision. We made rapper ad-lib. Freedom has GPS, so we set it and we go. Yeah, Rachel L. Gary in the map. Yeah, she marking a road. Let's go. Love, time, peace, and family. Yeah, that's the code. CEO of our life, now we taking control. No more stuck, no more someday. We got something to prove. Freedom has GPS, now watch the whole movement move. We be up, out and moving. Yes, but out and moving to the greatness that lies in. Woo!